falling in love many times, but always with the same person.
And Ephesians chapter 4, verses 2 to 3 says, be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unit of the Spirit through the bond of peace. And this word is very important for all of us in a relationship. As you guys know, there's great times, but then there's tough times as well where we don't agree or we're just not getting along. So in order for us to be able to enjoy a healthy relationship, there are some tools that we can use.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one of them that we're going to discuss about today that we felt that we had great benefit of in our
Yes.
relationship. So I'll let you let us take us there.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the five love languages. And just to kind of briefly run through them, we have words of affirmation as the first one, which that one has to do with just being encouraging through, to your partner, motivating them. It says an example would be kind of like maybe sending an unexpected like text or no, just letting them, motivating them in some
Words of
way.
affirmation, you said,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Then we also have physical touch, which this one is nonverbal. This one obviously will involve like hugs and kisses and things like that. We have gifts, right? It doesn't have to be a big gift, but something just showing that you're being thoughtful towards your partner. We also have acts of service, which is just helping out, right? Your partner, and just letting them know that they're not alone, right? Just kind of alleviating that workload, if you could say it like that.
Like helping with the dishes, helping
Yes,
with
helping
things
with
around the
chores.
house,
Yes.
yes.
And the last one will be quality time. So this one is like it says, right? Just giving that, setting apart that time, right? With no interruption, that one on one.
Going on
Maybe,
dates, maybe.
yes, being intentional, weekend getaways, but it doesn't have to be that big. It could be just simply going like on a short walk, with just your partner, with like, leaving your phone at home and just no kids or whatever, just one on one.
And it was interesting because I'm sure many of you guys probably have heard of the five love languages already. For us, we never, I mean, we probably heard of it, but never really kind of delved into it until 10 years into our marriage. And we went part of it was a church ministry that was going on that we wanted to take part of. And they brought the book, they brought a Symbiz, a test, which all that information is going to be on the description for you guys to take tests. The test if you want to find out what your love language is. But how was that helpful to our relationship? Tell us, I mean, what was your experience with the five languages?
Yeah, like you said, we had no idea. I mean, I never heard of it. I had no idea that existed. But then once we took the quiz and we saw the description of it, like for instance, I am acts of service and quality time. I am like right there. I think acts of service is just like one point ahead of quality time, and then it just everything made so much more sense, right?
Absolutely.
Because sometimes all I wanted you to do, right, was just to help me with the chores, and it's just, I didn't really know how to communicate that. But I knew that I would just get mad if like you wouldn't do it, but then I just couldn't really communicate it or verbalize it. But then it just made more sense to us, right? That if you're just being more intentional, that everybody receives love in a different way. And I just started looking all around us, not just with us, we just with my family and our kids, and just trying to be intentional how do I give love.
Correct. No, and that was so life changing for us. In my results, I was
Physical touch.
physical touch. So I mean, and it made sense when we got our results. We definitely identified with our results. We're like, yeah, that kind of does make sense. And the greater thing that we understood from that was, for example, like you were saying, in my case, I am physical touch, so perhaps a hug, a kiss, and just a little scratch in your back or something. I'm like, I'm filling up her love tank with that because I would imagine that would work for me because that's how I feel loved. But understanding our languages, in your case, it brought you more love. You felt more appreciated if I made coffee in the morning before you woke up, or help with the kids in the morning or something like that.
Right.
So therefore, and then vice versa. In your case, your acts of service for me were amazing, but maybe I feel more loved if you just scratch my back, or just or whatever the case, more physical touch.
Yeah,
So
and I think it just makes perfect sense because um, just God made all of us different, right? And God is so creative, and why not, like be as creative of like just everybody receiving love a different way. So I just see it like, wow, just God is just super creative, and if He gives us these tools to learn how to give love, how to express love, we should use them, right? Because like you said, we always are kind of we tend to give love in the way that we prefer it, right? But if you know that that is not your partner's love language, right? Like it's not right. You have to try. Even for me, that I'm not the most affectionate person, so for me, it's a little bit hard. But you have to be intentional, especially if you know, like it's like messed up if you are not giving it.
yeah,
You know,
and you have
yeah.
to be intentional once you find out how to express that love to your loved one. Then now you can put more effort in that. I can probably do more acts of service, and like you said, be intentional and taking that time out. To have these conversations, to get to know each other better. This doesn't. These benefits don't just end in a relationship of marriage. This benefits you in any type of relationship, business
Yes.
relationship, with your family. When you get to make time to get to know people better, sometimes we just get in arguments because people think a little differently than us. But there's a beauty in that. It's more how we manage that understanding. If some people like the loud, the extravagant situations. Some people are more quiet. They like, and in a relationship, in our cases, we are extremely different. So for us to be able to understand how we communicate is essential for our everyday enjoyment. And I
Definitely.
feel like since then, it's not to say that we are not having any issues at all, but we definitely have a better way of understanding how to have a good fight and coming out stronger and better from it.
Yes, and also letting your partner know if your love tank is getting low, right? By love tank, right? We just definitely there are times that we may feel that we don't feel love. I'm not saying that I don't know that you love me, but there are times when like you said, maybe you're not expressing or I'm not expressing it in the way that you receive it. So just communicating, because we learned about this in a communication class. So this is part of like that communication in a relationship, that healthy communication.
And communication is key to any relationship. So, thank you guys so much for joining us. We definitely love having these discussions. And in these discussions, we are blessing ourselves as well. Like, we
Yes.
find out things about each other and we're able to have these discussions. And we're hoping that we motivate you to have these discussions with your loved ones so that we can continue having better relationships and better days in these moments that God has given us. Have a
Yes.
blessed day, everybody. The
Take the
Cafe Neg
quiz. It
Show.
will be on the link.
That's right.
Yes.
On the link below. Click and subscribe. Like for more.